Yo, welcome back, or welcome to some yappin'. Just yappin' with Key Dyer, me, that's me, referring to myself in the third person, as sometimes happens in life. So, it's been a while since I've released any sort of video or recorded any sort of stuff. Just one of those things where life got busy and it's for all good reasons. I had a gallery show down in Brea and I had two gallery shows, one in Fremont and the other in Vallejo. If you're familiar with the Bay Area, you'll know that, but these are all locations in California. And it's just been very exciting to have my work put up, visible to people out there with amazing artists. The showdown in Brea was Yo Gabba Gabba themed for their 20th anniversary, and it was an incredible opening gallery experience. There's so many crazy talented artists in there. Also, as well, up in Vallejo at Autonomous Gallery, there's some amazing stuff going on. It's actually the second showing of a show that I did back in June, called My Existence is Resistance. It's a more political show, but it's a good one. And the people putting it on are just top-notch people. And I couldn't be more excited for these opportunities. So yeah, not being able to record the past few months is one of those things that's actually a blessing, because I've been busy with the stuff that I like to report on here. So thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it. I'm always just here giving advice because it's advice I need to hear. So all this yapping is me yapping, hoping it'll land on someone else's ears and maybe help them out with something. I don't know. Or maybe I'll just watch it later and realize, hey dude, you had a good mind about something back then. Why don't we pull that back and remember? So today, what I really wanted to talk about is actually something that stuck with me for quite a long time, and I know a lot of my artistic people, my creative people in general, will understand where I'm coming from when I talk about the concept of being too much or trying too hard. And it's usually something people put on you. It's when you're passionate about something, or you're excited, or you're knowledgeable about something, and so you're willing to go that extra mile to express yourself in a certain format, or learn a new skill, or display that skill. You know, if you spent a bunch of time learning the ukulele, you're going to want to sit and show someone, and there's going to be someone in the audience, someone in the back going, you know what? Key's trying too hard. Other people play the ukulele. Why is he so crazy about it? And usually, I've found anything people are willing to say to you super confidently, especially when you're young, like especially like kids to other kids, that's such a nasty time. I mean, yeah, it's the fun time in life, supposed to be the easy fun time in life. For a lot of people it's really not. But even when things are all chill, kids are nasty to other kids, and they usually just parrot things that have been said to them from home. One such occasion that I've talked about in my life ad nauseum, but only now talking about it out loud. I was in 6th grade, homeroom. We had like 4 classes all together in the morning, and then for the afternoon we had electives. I'm sitting there, I'm making jokes with my friends. This is 6th grade, right? So sitting there making jokes with my friends. Some girl behind me chimes in, "You try too hard." And that's when I was 11. I'm 35 now, and when I think about that moment, it still cuts me pretty deeply, because I was just having fun. I was just being passionate. I was just being very in the moment. And someone felt the need to take it upon themselves to put a damper on my excitement and my energy. I held that tightly. I held that for a lot of years. I still hold on to it. And I won't say that moment specifically, but the compounding moments in life after that. Someone telling me, "Do you ever stop talking?" When I was 13, 14, thought I had a friend, and I'm chatting. I was yapping. Go figure. Just yapping. And to be made to feel shame when you're expressing yourself in excitement. Now, there's one thing, I understand being hyperactive, but when you're just genuinely excited about a conversation and or a person and your connection to them, and they swipe that down in like one fell swoop, that's painful. Saying what you're doing, no matter how positive you feel about it, and no matter how much it's not hurting anyone, is a negative because someone felt irritated, or maybe someone recognized a moment when they were told they were too much or that they talked too much, and the cycle saw its way to completion, and they said that to me. Now, I'll never say those things to anyone because I understand the power of those statements. We've all made statements in life that we look back and we wish we didn't say. I'm sure those people wouldn't stand by those comments, but at the time and going forward, they had an effect on me. And it's taken a lot of time to unlearn that. It's taken a lot of time to understand that my too much and my trying too hard is just the level that I'm at. And if people are down here, they're not going to understand the up here. And I'm not saying it's like ignorant. I'm not saying they're stupid. I'm just saying you guys are on different platforms and they might not understand where your passion comes from. Excuse me, get a little sip of tea here. So I've spoken with this to many people, and obviously it sticks with me. It's something I've thought of off and on for the past 24 years. It's crazy, but it's not really. It's not crazy. Because sometimes we hold on to things because of how negatively they impacted us, of how negative it felt. So I wrote a little something down. In this moment, you hearing it, me saying it, it might feel a little cringy. I guess saying cringe is cringe, so I'm already there, right? But I wrote this down about trying too hard, and it is what it is. I'm not gonna justify it or defend it or whatever, or give you a pre-roll about it. It is what it is. This is how I felt about trying too hard, and yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and read it. Trying too hard. If your dream and the outcome you want is dependent on other people, you may never have it. It's an ability to create the input you desire, independent of the outcomes. If you want to be funny, craft jokes. If you want to be creative, work on a painting. Don't wait for someone to tell you how good of a painting you've made. Just make the thing, and you're taking actionable steps towards your dream. That's all that counts. The likes, the reposts, the sales, the shows, that's all fluff. It's the lettuce on the charcuterie board. Charcuterie Charcuterie. Authenticity is what's left when you stop pretending. Don't dim your light to fit in darker rooms that can lead you to questionable places where you no longer recognize yourself, but you'll identify with that lack of focus. You'll think you're lacking something when really you're bigger than your entire surroundings and have no wiggle room to grow and become who you really are. Get out of your way and get other people out of your way. Be too much. Try too hard. Those aren't your words anyways. So, aside from that little slam poetry meeting, dimming your light to fit in darker rooms really can lead you to those dark places. I know that sounds a little redundant, but when you start dimming your light, sometimes that's not just a mental dimming. Sometimes it's not just, hey, I'm not going to draw. Hey, I'm not going to crack a little joke. Hey, I'm not going to bake that bread because someone said whatever about it. Sometimes, and oftentimes, especially with creative folks, it can lead down really ugly paths of addiction, self-harm, just really toxic scenarios. And again, it's not just, I'm not pinning my behavior afterwards on this one person who said that thing to me. That was just a really succinct jumping off point for me processing myself as who I am, as someone who may be too much to other people, as someone who may look like they're trying too hard to other people. Me dimming my light included me drinking a lot of alcohol. And I'm a big guy. I'm 6'7", and I could put them down. I come from a family of alcoholics. No one told me till I was 25 and in recovery. But I did so much to escape myself. It's just a fun thing you do when you're late high school, early 20s. It's just like, okay, yeah, everybody's drinking. But me, I was dimming a light. Now, I got a lot of art done in that time. That doesn't mean that. But the side of me that was trying to be less was drowning. Literally drowning. Water in the lungs, could not breathe. Screaming for help, but no one could hear. And that's a scary place to get to when you can't accept yourself. And you'll go to scary, extra deep lengths to dim your own light to fit into darker rooms. I know that got a little heavy, so I just wanted to go ahead and point out that I have this really cute large-scale duck, I would also like to point out that I have a slightly larger golden sparkly duck. And then, just to round it out, we're going to go ahead with the large hot pink duck. Oh. I'm a big fan of the rubber ducks. And that's the thing. Go do whatever it is. Go do whatever it is that's too much. You want to have too many rubber ducks? You want people to call you a rubber duck person behind your back and you don't know it just because you like rubber ducks? Fuck them. Who cares, dude? You're on the plane. They're on the jetway. Trying to flag it down. It's not gonna work. If they miss the plane, they miss the plane, dude. When I start saying dude, clearly I'm talking to myself. So I talk to myself when I'm alone, not in any sort of negative way, but dude. Alright, let's take a moment. Let's do a deep breath together. Okay, I'm going to do 4 in, hold it for 4, and out for 4. All right, recentered? Okay. Go ahead and try too hard. Go ahead and be too much. Who cares what the peanut gallery has to say about it? Now, let me look back at my note here. And to circle back to the beginning, you having the input of being too excited or being very excitable about something, very passionate about something, is perfectly fine. It's amazing. Dive into that. Dive into that niche. If you just like painting swirls Uzumaki style on everything, go ahead. That's your thing. Look what Yayoi Kusama's doing. Painting dots for 50 plus years. And she ain't slowing down. She's still at it. I know that's a high art thing, but then you got Henry Darger just creating in his shack, and no one's gonna know. No one ever would have known, maybe, unless they went into his house and found all the relics of the things he had created over his whole life. And it's this amazing catalog of outsider art that he just did. No audience, no outcome other than the input, if that makes sense. So I just want to say, go out, be yourselves, be too much if that's who it is. If that, be yourself if that's who you are. I don't know if you need me to give you permission, but if you need me to give you permission, I give you permission. My dogs give you permission. Everyone watching this right now that isn't you gives you permission, but you don't need it. Go get it done. Go be too much. Go have fun. And to say it for the millionth time in this video, to be super extra redundant, please don't dim your light to fit into darker rooms. All right, well, thank you all so much for tapping in with me. I'm chatted out right now. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for being present. Be where your feet are. Also, if you feel so inclined, hit this video with a like, follow, give me a subscribe. It really helps a small little channel like mine, just trying to meet like-minded artists and creatives. I also have a Patreon over at patreon.com/keydyer. You know, different tiers. $8 a month gets you some original art from me every single month. And we got some cool stuff coming up. Anyways, thank you all so much for being here. I love you. And until the next time, be too much, babies.